Alright, so today we've got a pretty laid back video, nothing too serious to go over. I just want to take a little bit of time to talk about a few things. I want to talk about a few of the comments I've seen recently and then take a few moments to talk about the testing grounds and give my thoughts on a few things since I realized I didn't upload a video talking about that stuff. And now that we're approaching the mid-season patch and the Raider leather gimp suit, I'd figured I'd talk about some of the stuff as I feel like we could be seeing, some of the testing grounds changes sooner rather than later. Now, before we begin, this video is actually sponsored. This video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid really needs no introduction. It's the extremely popular free-to-play RPG set in a dark fantasy world. I've been playing for a little while now and I got into it. I like building different teams and whatnot with all of these different types of champions who I think all look pretty cool. The enemies look great as well. They're all varied with different weapons, armors, skills, and abilities, and that made me want to keep collecting rare items and upgrading as I progress through the campaign. It just recently passed its 2-year anniversary and the game is larger than ever. They've added plenty of new champions and more of these cool, epic, and legendary champions are currently in development and there are constantly new events going down. They recently introduced the second rotation of the Doom Tower for players to try and take down the Celestial Griffin and the Eternal Dragon. Click on the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to download the game onto your phone, tablet, or even your PC. The game's got something that any game that runs on multiple platforms should have nowadays, and that's crossplay, so you don't have to worry about losing your progression for playing on any of your devices. If you're new, you'll get Jotun for free to help you out, 100,000 silver, 50 gems, and 3 ancient shards to summon champions as soon as you hop on. You can find your rewards in your inbox for the next 30 days. Thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video, and now let's get right into it. Okay, so before I, talk about the testing ground stuff, let me talk about something for like 2 minutes. I've been seeing more and more of this since I stopped uploading videos as often to YouTube. Most of the traffic goes to older videos when you're not uploading newer videos, so the comment notifications I get are all over the place. In this perfect storm almost after Griffin and after the testing grounds, I've been seeing more comments than ever talking about how this game just isn't as good as it used to be, that it's nowhere near as fun. What is fun is, different to different people. We're in year 5 of this game now. It's been around for a while. The game is old in modern gaming terms. The music I'm playing in the background now is probably making quite a few of you feel nostalgic. And as I said, as more and more, time goes on, I get these comments on videos that are like 3 or 4 years old talking about how these were the glory days of the game, or how this was the best point in this game's life, or this is when I had the most fun and I wish it was something like this, or something like that. And I get it, the game's changed so much since it was released. I fell victim to the same thought as I was combing through my PC trying to get rid of the 45 gigs of crash data that Outriders placed on my drive and stumbled across a folder of some really old PS4 gameplay. The game's changed a lot since even this time last year. Most of us can agree that the game is in its best state, from the point that there are less genuine issues than ever. It's easy to look back with rose-tinted goggles, but on launch there were things that just weren't okay, hence why most of the issues that could have been ironed out have been ironed out. Actually, let me show you a few clips real fast, mainly for the people that are newer to the game and weren't around for most of this stuff.
It's even worse for assassins because they actually can't block it at all. Here I told my friend to tap his guard in the direction I'm attacking from, but his guard goes away before my attack connects with him, so he doesn't even have a chance to block it.
Now, even if the game is in its best state, that doesn't mean that it's going to be fun for everyone. Balance in of itself doesn't equal fun for any given person. It's all subjective. As I've said before, who doesn't miss being able to easily pull off, 10 deflects in a row against some random guy, or deleting someone's health bar in legitimately 3 seconds? It felt satisfying to do, but it wasn't fun to go up against. Attacks being so easy to defend against wasn't good. Going up against someone that could play defense was really annoying if you were playing a hero that had a tough time opening up opponents. Getting your health bar shredded for making a single mistake wasn't fun at all. It was frustrating. Getting revenge in a 1v1 sure made the person in that fight feel a lot better than the other, things like that. All that to say, the game is as good as it's ever been. More heroes to play, less issues, lots of content to grind out for, and there's still developer support for the game a little over 4 years later, with 2 new heroes on the way. That being said though, fun is what you make it. The quote-unquote glory days of the game are to you whatever you want them to be. Just be mindful of some of the stuff that was in the game prior, before saying it was perfect. As for the testing grounds, it seems like a lot of us are actually on the same page here. It genuinely surprised me to see so many people on the same page actually. Yeah, there were a few people that were opposed to a few changes, but for the most part, it seems as though the majority of people were on board with the changes and wanted to see them in the game. Seemingly even more so than with the last batch, with Nobu, Warden, PK, and Shigoki. Shigoki and Warden were talked about, but PK and Nobu were pretty much accepted, and we saw those changes get pushed into the game relatively quickly. I feel like the exact same thing could happen here, with this stuff. That's not to say that I didn't see criticism from people. There were, a few things talking about how there are 3 more 500 millisecond bashes put into the game. Then there were the Orochi players that rise whenever a new bash is put into the game, to tell you for the 700th time why Tozen's kick would revolutionize the character. A few people didn't really like how aggressive Jianhu is. I saw some stuff about Shigoki's headbutts. I saw a few things about Aramusha, and then I saw some stuff about how many dodge attacks are in the game now. Maybe I wasn't looking for criticism hard enough, but it felt like everyone was on the same page. I don't really mind that there were more dodge attacks in the game. Playing Hitokiri filled me with joy, as I had a way to punish something like Blackbriar's Bash more often. Hitokiri was actually the highlight of the testing grounds for me. Playing them was the most fun I had in this game in a long while. Even though they're not perfect, I'm sure we'll see, chain heavy damage dropped a bit. I'd love to see, the light attacks have better trajectories, things like that. I am looking forward to seeing who or what didn't get pushed through yet, who needs more work and whatnot. Can't imagine many, but I just sort of want to peek into what's next. And I want to see if Yubi can stay on this hot streak. They mentioned that there would be more testing grounds, so I wonder if the next one will include, somebody like Yorm or Highlander, or the highly requested Shinobi. I've got faith that they do well with these heroes given how they've been making good changes recently. However, I feel like these heroes are going to be much tougher to figure out, as their issues are partly baked into the identity of these heroes in the first place. Say for Yorm, they decided to not make him focus so much on stamina, or with Shinobi, which route will they go down with him and his ranged attacks? With some heroes it's just easier to work on, or at least I say this from the outside looking in. I don't make games, but with a hero like Jianhu, the answer was looking right at us. With Hito, with PK, I think it's easier to figure out which direction to take them in, or at least much easier than with a hero like Shinobi, or as we've been seeing, Shigoki. But I guess we'll see how that all goes out if we see them in the testing grounds. Anyways, that's all I've got for this video. I don't want to ramble for too long. I just wanted to talk about a few things really fast. If you need me, I'll be in the mid-season patch waiting room. As always, if you liked the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.